From Catawba Valley, the Region 10 men's basketball tournament opening round as we start with our first of 3 games as 6 teams vie to reach the Region 10 semifinals tomorrow afternoon. This is our first game, and it's the 4-5 matchup. The 4-seed Gaston College Rhinos at 22-7 and 8-6 in the region. They are taking on the Richard Bland Statesmen. They are 9-15 and 7-7 in the region. Hi, everybody. Chris Shima, glad to be with you. Let's meet the starting lineups for both of these teams. First for Richard Bland and head coach Guillermo Cabrera. It's number 0, Jermaine Costin Jr. Number 4 is Andy Ramirez. Number 5 is Jalen Smith. Number 11, Doyle Brown. First team all-region Doyle Brown, that is. And number 12, Dove Fishburne. And now starting today for Gaston and head coach Benny Most, it's number 2, Taheem Love, second team all-region Taheem Love. Number 10 is Judah Ravenel, also second team all-region. Also starting for the Rhinos today is number 11, first team all-regions Jordan Brown. And rounding out the starting 5 for the Rhinos, number 23, Spencer Breeden, and number 33 is Kyrie McAllister. Winner of this game goes to one semifinal tomorrow against the top seed Brunswick Dolphins, who clinched a first-round bye with a 17 region tournament this season. So winner of this game will play the Dolphins, and our next game coming up will be the 2-seed USC Salkehatchie taking on 7-seed Cape Fear. And that is going to be about 20 minutes after this game is complete. And then our nightcap, or evening cap, whatever, is number 3, Wake Tech, taking on number 6, Caldwell. So Richard Bland and Gaston to start things off from Catawba Valley, as these two teams met twice in the regular season. Rhinos won both meetings, but very close games. In fact, it was a 1-point game at Richard Bland back on the 25th of January. Rhinos won at 85-84. Richard Bland shot 54% in that game. Gaston went 10 of 23 from 3. And then the most recent meeting in North Carolina on February 22nd, Gaston won that one 84-75. Richard Bland actually outshot Gaston in that game, 44% to 41%. We had 70 combined free throws in that second meeting. Let's hope we don't have that here today. But Gaston went 31 of 35, Richard Bland 25 of 35. So even though that second meeting was a 9-point victory for Gaston, those statistics were very even, very close throughout both meetings between these two programs. So Richard Bland and Gaston, 2 first-year head coaches coaching in their first Region 10 tournament, settle in as we're just about set to get going from Catawba. It's McAllister and Costin to tip it, and Costin wins the opening tip. We're underway here in the Region 10 men's basketball tournament. A little JUCO madness for you here in our second week of March. Smith is at the half circle, hands it off to Brown. Doyle Brown to Ramirez, back up top to Smith, driving in. McAllister staying with him. Triple team comes. He gets tied up in a double team eventually. And Gaston with the nice defensive stop. These are 2 very contrasting styles here. Richard Bland is the lowest scoring team in Region 10, but they're averaging over 83 a game in the month of March. And Gaston averaging 84 a game for the season. So Gaston, a little more high-octane offense, but you see the nice defense there for the Rhinos as they break the press. Doyle Brown swings it left side to Taheem Love. The cutter, McAllister. McAllister over a double team, couldn't get it to go. Offensive rebound back to him, though. Shot clock didn't reset, but he gets it up and in. So McAllister scores the first bucket of the tournament. Red Hawks on your left is Gaston. Guest on the right is Richard Bland, if you're looking at the scoreboard. So 2-zip to Gaston. It's Brown out to Costin, left wing. This is Ramirez. Smith, Fishburne. Everybody touching the ball here. Brown over to Ramirez for 3. Off the back rim, rebound Ravenel. Ravenel, double-double threat at 13 points, 8.5 rebounds. Brown for 3, no good. Rebound, Costin throws it ahead. This is Smith. Smith got tripped up. and he'll go to the free throw line. First foul of the game will lead to Richard Bland free throws. Statesmen won 3 of 4 entering the tournament. This is a year that started just 2-8 for new head coach Guillermo Cabrera, but Richard Bland finishing 500 down the stretch after that start. And for Gaston, they've lost 3 of 4 entering the tournament, but they had a key win against Salkehatchie in that stretch. Smith on the season is a 65% free throw shooter. Gaston started the season with a loss to D2 power Davidson, who won Region 10 in the D2 tournament last week. Then they won 17 straight games. They didn't lose another game until January 29th, but went 5-6 down the stretch. So the Rhinos went through that long stretch without a loss. Here's Breeden, corner 3, no good. Another offensive rebound, McAllister had trouble with it, able to gather, back out. Breeden flip shot off the back iron. McAllister has his 3rd offensive rebound. Costin takes it away, though, as McAllister fell down. Actually landed on Costin there, McAllister, so couldn't keep his footing. But good hustle at the start for Kyrie McAllister. He came in 3 points, 3.5 rebounds, but he's already got 3 offensive rebounds. Doyle Brown attacking, taking on the entire defense, coming up short. Ravenel collects another rebound. That's his 2nd. Taheem Love on the left side, 2nd team all-region for Taheem. Brown is 1st team all-region, tied for 9th in Region 10 in points per game. Good ball movement, finding the open Love, who buries the triple. Good start for Gaston. They lead at 5-zip. We're 2.5 into this one. Fishburne averaging over 3 assists per ball game. Bounce passes it over to Ramirez. Smith on the block. Up top, Brown. Open look at a triple, and that's good. Doyle Brown, 39% from 3 this season. He leads Region 10 in points per game at 18.6. And is Gaston able to break the press? Out to Ravenel for 3. So Rhinos trying to answer quick. Smith's got the rebound. Smith is the top rebounder and the top assist man in Region 10. He has 11 double-doubles this year, including one of those against Gaston. Jalen Smith, it is so rare that a player leads a region, a conference, whatever, in rebounds and assists. In fact, I was Googling it before the game, and I couldn't find any instance of that combination. I'm sure it's been done before, but it's extremely rare. So Brown leading Region 10, or excuse me, Smith leading Region 10 with 9.5 rebounds and over 6 assists per game. Shot clock winding down here. Richard Bland's got to get moving. Brown in the corner. Swings it out. Ramirez got to get it off. Oh, he buried it. Beautiful defense by Breeden, and Ramirez says, I don't care if you're in my face. We are tied at 5, first tie of the game. 4 minutes and change into our first round game here in the Region 10 tournament. Catawba Valley hosting for the 2nd year. Entry pass, Stevens has come into the game for Gaston. Ben Stevens out there. His pass was tipped and another steal. Richard Bland came in averaging 8.5 steals per game. They've got a couple here in the first 4.5 minutes. Brown got the screen, attacks, goes glass, and Doyle Brown up to 5 points. So Richard Bland now leading by 3. Taheem Love cut off at the free throw line. Set out to Ravenel. Now it's Brown with it. Brown will take a deep 3, goes in and out. Rebound Costin. Jermaine Costin Jr. averaging close to 7 rebounds a game. 3 guys, I mentioned Smith, of course, but 3 guys, Smith, Ramirez, Costin, all over 6 rebounds a game. 6.5 rebounds, that is. So Richard Bland settling in, 8-0 run for the Statesmen after falling behind 5-zip. Ramirez attacks. Ramirez, tough angle, and he's fouled. That'll be the second on Gaston, and we'll have free throws when we come back. 14:29 left to go. We're just underway here at the Region 10 tournament. We'll be back.
It's time to redefine what it means to be a college student. At Catawba Valley Community College, Red Hawks do more than learn. They explore, embark, and excel. Take charge of your academics close to home. Seek new talents. Capture your degree from every angle. And build the education you've always wanted. When it comes down to it, why walk when you can soar? Raise your standards. Visit cvcc.edu to learn more. Discover the CVCC Alexander Complex, your gateway to college in Taylorsville, North Carolina. The CVCC experience knows no bounds. It's education that reaches you, no matter where you are. With several associate degree programs and continuing education opportunities, you can unlock the full potential of Catawba Valley at the Alexander Complex. This is higher education close to home. Visit cvcc.edu to start your journey.
Welcome back to the Region 10 men's basketball tournament. First round action. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you. I'm at the home studio in Ohio. Wherever you're watching from, we appreciate it. We got the poll question, who advances to take on the top seed Brunswick tomorrow. And so far, I like to take the temperature of the room, and it looks like we got slight more Richard Bland fans watching the game than Gaston, 58 to 42%. We'll leave that poll up maybe until the next media timeout. So Gaston scored the first 5 points of the game. 3 by Love, 2 by McAllister. 8-0 run for Richard Bland. And Ramirez at the free throw line. Brown with 5. Ramirez has 4. Andy Ramirez, 80% free throw shooter on the season. Ramirez, 5th in the region in points per game. So Richard Bland at the bottom in offense as a team, but 2 guys in the top 5 in scoring, as that's off the Statesmen out of bounds. Ramirez came in to the tournament hot in March, averaging 19.7 points per game. Ramirez shooting 50% from 3 and 53% from the field. So Ramirez has 5, Brown has 5, 10 straight points for Richard Bland. Here's Brown for Gaston, over to Joyner, who's off the bench. Joyner, contested shot, got it to go. E.J. Joyner, 11.4 points per ball game off the bench, shooting 49% from the field for Benny Moss's team. So that ends a 10-0 run and gets Gaston within 3. 13:50 to go. It's 10-7 Richard Bland. Here is Fishburne, right of the lane, swings it out to Smith. It's just drive and pop, drive and pop. Brown pops and he scores. Doyle Brown up to 7 already as Richard Bland ups its lead to 5. Brown, Joyner, back to Brown. Zone now for the Statesmen. Entry pass deflected by Richard Agbo. So Richard Agbo in for the Statesmen, going to be whistled for the foul on the reach. First foul on Richard Bland, 2 on Gaston. Got to be careful if you're Richard Bland. We talked about the free throws in the most recent meeting between these two teams. Gaston is, they shot the most free throws this year in Region 10. They're 4th in the NJCAA in attempts, 19.3. 7th in makes, or excuse me, let's flip that. 4th in makes at 19.3. 7th in attempts at 26.3. From the elbow, Stevens can't get it to go. Agbo the rebound. So Richard Agbo in. We talked about Stevens, E.J. Joyner, and Ryan Evans now in for Gaston, wearing number 7 in white. Smith on the wing. Brown. Agbo. And Agbo got contact there over a double team. 3rd team foul on Gaston. Richard Agbo, 75% at the line in limited minutes during the regular season for Richard Bland. Richard Bland, I mentioned, lowest scoring team in Region 10, but hot in March. And they're third in the region in field goal percentage, shooting 59% in 3 March games so far. They're also shooting a 42% from 3 in March, and that's also their season best. Agbo comes up empty at the free throw line. Evans got the rebound. Again, Gaston facing the trap and able to get it into the forecourt. It's Joyner. Brown, Love running the baseline there. Here's Brown on the wing, throws a rocket through the hands of Evans out of bounds. Turnover by the Rhinos. They came in at 22-7. Benny Moss's first year, 2 first-year head coaches as the 4 and 5 seeds here this season. Smith into the front court. Costin is back in for Richard Bland. So it's Brown, Smith, Costin, Agbo, and Ramirez, the 5 for the Statesmen. Brown's he's got 7 with the basketball, gives it up to Ramirez. He's got 5. No other players have scored. Costin will try to change that. Long on the 3, rebound Love. 8 minutes, 10 seconds into our first opening round game. Good ball movement. Evans, the defense comes to him. Agbo with the steal. Brown into the front court, 2-on-2. Brown double pump and scores. Doyle Brown with 9. 14-7, Richard Bland. Taheem Love into the front court. Bounce pass over to Joyner. Joyner attacks, cut off on the baseline. Out to Love, extra pass. Brown, top of the key, 3, no. Rebound by Agbo. It's Brown for Gaston and Brown for Richard Bland, so pay attention. Here is Smith going right of the lane. Blocked by Evans. Numbers now 5-on-4. And Love had it blocked, and they say he touched it last, going out of bounds. So it'll be Richard Bland basketball. Statesman defense on point right now, as it's Richard Bland 14 and Gaston 7. All right, those are your all-region winners, honors. Congratulations to all of those guys. Chris Sheeman back here with you. We are at the 11-minute mark here in the opening half, and Richard Bland fell behind 5-zip, 14-2 extended run since then for the Statesmen as they have clamped down defensively. So Richard Bland leading it, the 5 seed over the 4 right now, 14-7. Fishburne and Brown playing hot potato. It's Brown now to Fishburne, who drives baseline, and he stepped out of bounds. Ball goes back to the Rhinos. Gaston came into the tournament third in the region, the Salk and Brunswick in points per game, but averaging under 80 in February and March. So their offense has been down as the season has gone on. Breaking the press, it's Evans for three. Got it to go. Ryan Evans, 36% three-point shooter, makes it a 4-point game. So a defensive battle right now, but Gaston, despite that, still very much within striking distance. Got to find out how to figure out how to stop that guy as Brown comes up empty. Evans the rebound. Rhinos are off and running. Swinging it out to Joyner. Joyner attacks. Open look on the left side. That's Watson in for three, no good. Follows his own miss. Brown over to Joyner. Another extra possession. McAllister back in the game. Too strong, but he draws contact. So number 4, J.R. Watson out of the timeout in the game. McAllister back in. Kyrie McAllister has 4 offensive rebounds already. I don't know what happened to the poll. I just ended it and it disappeared, but Richard Bland had the advantage in the who wins poll. McAllister up to 3 points today. McAllister 70% on the season at the line. Gets them both. 4 for McAllister, 3 for Evans, 2 for Love, 2 for Joyner. Balanced scoring as Gaston's within 2. It's 14-12, Richard Bland. Both teams in a trap, and both teams so far have not had any trouble with it. Brown and Ramirez have done all the scoring for Richard Bland. Doyle Brown has 9, Ramirez with 5. Smith, pass off the mark. It's a steal by McAllister. Joyner into the front court. It's win or go home. Tournament time here in Region 10. Winner of the tournament will get the automatic bid to Hutchinson, Kansas for the NJCAA National Tournament that'll start next week. Brown on the wing, gets a screen. Evans hit a triple moments ago. Getting this zone for Richard Bland. Off 1 foot, the Dirk shot, an air ball by Brown. Rebound Ramirez for Richard Bland. Throw ahead goes to Smith. Fishburne. Top of the key, the 3 by Ramirez, way off. 8:48 to go in this first half, and the both offenses have slowed down a little bit, although Gaston with an opportunity to tie or take the lead with a triple here. Right now they're trying to figure out this matchup zone. Nice deflection there, just running out of real estate. Over on that sideline was Costin trying to go for the steal. Spencer Breeden coming back in for Gaston. Judah Ravenel also back in. Evans stays out there, so does Watson and Joyner. That's the 5 for the Rhinos. Joyner splits the defense, lost the handle. It's a steal by Smith. Smith, Fishburne into the front court, over to Brown. Brown thought about it. Smith back to Brown in the corner. Fishburne, Brown, top of the key triple is good. Doyle Brown is in double figures already with a dozen. And the Region 10 leading scorer came in averaging 28.5 points per game in his last 4 games. Is still hot, if you were wondering. Corner 3, Watson steps inside the arc, double pump, and it's a rebound to Smith. So Watson got caught off guard going up for the shot. Now Costin in the lane, swings it out Ramirez. Extra pass to guess who? It's Brown. He's got 14. Doyle Brown has been on fire. I love it. The kids who can raise their level this time of the year always my favorite to watch in March, and Doyle Brown is doing just that. He scored in double figures this season in all but 2 games. Down low, Ravenel, defender fell down, and Judah got fouled. Both teams with 3 team fouls. We got another timeout here at the Region 10 men's basketball tournament. Catawba Valley hosting, and it's 19-12 in favor of Richard Bland. We'll be back.
Where does education take you? Catawba Valley Community College offers premier community development and public services education. Train on industry standard equipment or take part in live scenarios with EMS and fire safety training. Our aspiring teachers can start their teaching degree with early childhood education programs. If you're a creative, come explore our Cosmetology Center, where your aesthetic talents will go far. Apply now. Visit cvcc.edu to learn more. Change the game with your technical degree. At Catawba Valley Community College, you can go beyond the textbook and learn in the innovative Workforce Solutions Complex. We have spaces for welding labs, automotive systems, computer-integrated machining, advertising and graphic design. There's no limit to what's possible at Red Hawk Nation. It's time to earn your technical degree. Apply today. Visit cvcc.edu to learn more.
Catawba Valley hosting the Region 10 basketball tournament for the 2nd consecutive year. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you as be with you all week and into the weekend. We'll crown a Region 10 champion Saturday afternoon. Right now, good start for Richard Bland. They lead at 19-12. It's Gaston basketball. Inbound goes to Breeden. There's Joyner on the far side. More of a 2-3 look in this zone right now for Richard Bland as Ravenel collects and cleans up. First bucket for Judah Ravenel. Came in averaging 13.3 points per ball game, 8.5 rebounds a game. Ravenel third in the region in rebounds per game. He's got 5 double-doubles this year. 6:35 to go in the opening half. Smith, top of the key to Costin. It's Ramirez over to Fishburne, open look. His 3 is long. So Doyle Brown is out of the game right now for Richard Bland, and if you're Gaston, your eyes light up. This is the time to make the run for the Rhinos. Oh, correction, Brown's still in the game. My apologies. Didn't mean to get your hopes up, Gaston fans. Yeah, he's still out there. Another offensive rebound. So the Rhinos not shooting particularly well, but they're crashing the glass. They're getting the work in. Nice reverse there by Evans. Nice dime by Joyner as well, who found him. And it's a 3-point game again, 19-16 Richard Bland. Fishburne out near midcourt, guarded by Watson. Man-to-man defense for the Rhinos. Brown attacks, swings it out. Ramirez over a double team, forced that shot. Gaston can push here. Ramirez is slow to get back. Joyner attacks, leaves it Ravenel. Yes, and the foul. So Ravenel an opportunity to tie the ball game from the free throw line, on an old school 3-point try. Judah Ravenel, 69% free throw shooter. Love is in. Watson is out for Gaston. Typically, Gaston, a good defensive rebounding team. They've been able to crash the glass here in this first half, and that'll be something that Guillermo Cabrera for Richard Bland will likely discuss with his team, as we are tied for the 2nd time today. 19 apiece, 5:15 to go in the half. Fishburne guarded by Love out deep. Smith, Ramirez calling for it. Instead, Costin top of the key. Here's Brown, 14 in the game for Doyle Brown. Swings it out Fishburne. Smith left alone. Ramirez attacks. Ramirez draws contact. They call the foul on Ravenel. Both teams with 4 team fouls as we're inside 5 to go. And Andy Ramirez going to the free throw line. 16.7 points per game, 6.2 rebounds, 2 steals a game, over 2 assists per game. Good stat year for Ramirez, who's normally a really good free throw shooter. He bricks the first one. I mentioned Ramirez has been hot in the month of March as well. 6th in the region as he gives Richard Bland a 1-point lead. So Ramirez now with 6 in the game. It's Brown to the far side. 4:45 to go until halftime. Love nearest us. Evans has played well off the bench. His pass is tipped out of bounds, and Gaston will have 12 to shoot here. Low scoring first half. That benefits Richard Bland, who is more deliberate offensively. Breeden to inbound. Ravenel, the face-up. Ball tipped out of bounds, and they say Evans touched it last. Smith over on the far side for the Statesmen. See what Coach Cabrera called up here. Try to get Doyle Brown going again. He finally missed one. Brown stuck on 14 points. He's got 14 of the 20. Ramirez has the other 6. And Evans buries his second triple as Gaston goes back on top. This is their first lead since it was 5-0. We're inside 4 to go. It's Gaston 22-20. And a great start for Brown and Ramirez, but they got to find some other offense for Richard Bland. Just 2 guys scoring is not going to get it done. Here's Smith on the wing. Smith backing down. Doubled up, swings it out to Brown. Brown attacks. Brown to Ramirez. Fishburne. Now Smith catch and shoot. Oh, buried it as the buzzer was going off. 2 ties, 2 lead changes. Richard Bland on top, and somebody other than Ramirez and Brown finally in the books. Jalen Smith, who shot just 24% from 3 this season, puts the Statesmen up by 1. 3:10 to go until halftime. It's Brown for Gaston. Love will back it out. Now give it back to Brown. Brown scoreless first half thus far. Love, shot clock at 3, has to get it off. It comes to Ravenel, couldn't get it to go, and Ramirez collects. Smith off and running. Rhino's getting back, so Richard Bland will set up the offense. Richard Bland went 7-7 in the region. Looking for a foul called there as Ravenel tried to take the charge. Smith came up empty. Heat check time for Evans. He's got his 3rd triple. Evans with 11. First player in double figures for Gaston as they go back up by 2. Rhinos 25-23. Inside 2 minutes to go here in this opening half. It's been low scoring, but it's been entertaining. Timely shots, good defense, nice hustle, kind of things you want to look for. Ramirez fakes the pass. He'll attack right of the lane, into the lane, couldn't score. Tipped rebound, Ravenel throws it ahead. To Love, off the glass for 2. This matches the second biggest lead now for Gaston. They scored the first 5 points of the game, and now it's 27-23. Fishburne looking for instructions as he goes to the far side with it. Brown out deep. Costin in the corner. Smith hit a three from the corner. He'll try one up top off the back iron. Ramirez offensive rebound, and he gets Evans in the air. So Ramirez going back to the line. We're going to have a timeout first, though. 59.4 seconds left in the first half. And it's Gaston, the 4 seed, 27. Richard Bland, the 5 seed, 23. Welcome back to Catawba Valley. That's me, Chris Shima. Glad to be with you here at the Region 10 men's basketball. I'm not there. I'm at home in Ohio, but you and I watching the Region 10 tournament from Catawba Valley. More free throws for Andy Ramirez. 6 points in this first half for Ramirez, trying to get his team back within 2. Gaston leads at 27-23 over Richard Bland. Ramirez went 1 out of 2 at the line moments ago. He's an 80% free throw shooter on the season. Struggling, though, here this afternoon at the free throw line. We'll try to salvage the trip here. Just 59 seconds left to go in this opening half. 3 lead changes and 2 ties. Gaston scored the first 5 points in the game. Then Richard Bland went on a 14-2 extended run to go up by 7. Gaston reclaimed the lead, and we've kind of ping-ponged back and forth over the last 3 minutes of the half. Brown backing down, swings it out. Love off 1 foot, got it to go. Tough bucket there from the elbow. Taheem Love, second team all-region, averaging 13 a game. He's got 7 here in the half. Richard Bland's going to burn a timeout here as they face their biggest deficit now. It's a 6-point lead for Gaston. And the shot clock and game clock are off by 3.5 seconds. Keep it here. I haven't been paying attention to the chat at all, so I apologize. Let's go back. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, folks. Kristen Chambers has not been in the game yet, though. I can tell you that for Richard Bland, and I think that's Sean saying hi, and Jay Brindle, thank you for that. I put a lot of work into it. There's also only so many stats and things you can come up with for small college teams like this, so you're going to be hearing some repetition most likely this week, depending on who wins this game. But right now it's 29-23 in favor of Gaston. Again, 3.5 second difference, game and shot clock for Richard Bland. They burn a timeout, a use it or lose it timeout here to set something up. Doyle Brown scored 14. He has been quiet down the stretch, though, as he gives it up to Fishburne. Now they go back to Brown. Shot clock is at 10 now. Costin driving in, blocked by Evans. Boy, what hasn't Evans done off the bench today? Put back no good by Vonham, who's in, and then Vonham follows his miss, and he's fouled. So Emmanuel Vonham, who hasn't played in this first half, gets fouled with .6 on the clock. Cameron, I'm not smart enough to do the rebounds. I just do points. So I don't know. But he's got a bunch. He's got a couple block shots, too, I think. Free throw shooting has not been the strong point for Richard Bland here in this first half, as Vonham, a 72% free throw shooter, misses his first. So with just .6, Gaston will inbound it. And we go to the half, 29-24. The 4-seed Gaston Rhinos went through a tough stretch. After leading at 5-0, they gave up a 14-2 run, but they have rebounded nicely, and their defense has been on point. 29-24, the Rhinos over the 5-seed Richard Bland. We'll take the halftime break. We'll be back in about 15 minutes with all the second half action, so don't go too far.
The Ready, Set, Soar Open House is back at Catawba Valley Community College. At the CVCC Open House, you can explore degree programs that are fit for your unique goals. You can find your place in Red Hawk Nation. And while you're here, you'll be able to meet with college staff, discussing topics like financial aid, student resources, and how to make the most of a degree plan at CVCC. Last year was great. This year will be even better. Together, we can make your talents shine. Come to the CVCC Ready, Set, Soar Open House on March 23rd.
Welcome back to the Region 10 Men's Basketball Tournament. Our first game here in the opening round, and it's the 4-seed Gaston College leading 5th seed Richard Bland 29-24. Leading scorer at the half is Doyle Brown for Richard Bland with a game-high 14. Ramirez has 6, Smith with 3, Vonham with 1. For Gaston, Ryan Evans came off the bench and hit 3 3-pointers. He's got 11 points. Taheem Love with 7, 5 for Ravenel, 4 for McAllister, 2 for Joyner. So that's the first half numbers in what was a pretty defensive-minded first half both ways. As backing down Ravenel, staying with him, doing a nice job was Agbo. So it's Richard Agbo getting the start here in this second half, alongside Fishburne and Smith with Doyle Brown and Ramirez. I don't see any changes in the starters from the first half to the second for Gaston, so it's McAllister, Breeden, Brown, Ravenel, and Love. Winner of this game will play the top seed, the Brunswick Dolphins, getting a first-round bye. So that'll be one semifinal tomorrow at 4 p.m. Second semifinal will be between the winner of our next two games, and then it'll be at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Next two games today, speaking of which, at approximately 4 p.m., it's the 2-seed and the Region 10 defending champs, USC Salkehatchie, and 7-seed Cape Fear. And then tonight at approximately 6 p.m., the 3-seed Wake Tech and the 6-seed Caldwell. $17 on the shot clock as the Rhinos get it into Ravenel at the free throw line. Top of the key, it's Love. Back to Judah. He'll step back 3 off the front of the rim, rebound by Agbo. Into the front court, Smith. It's it back from Brown. So Doyle Brown, the bulk of the offense for Richard Bland, 14 of the 24 points for the Statesmen by him. But he has been stuck on 14 for a while. Brown on the right wing. Cross-court Fishburne attacks. Brown, and I don't think they were aware how far up against the shot clock they were. I mean, you've got your bench right there. Somebody's got to be communicating that to the guys on the floor. And instead, it's good defense here for the Rhinos. We talked about the Rhinos' offense, but they came in giving up an average of just 76.3 points per game. It's the 6th best team in the NJCAA in defensive rebounding at 30.4, as the elbow jumper does not go for Love. Another offensive rebound for McAllister. That's his 5th, I believe, offensive rebound. Now he gets tied up with Agbo, and it's going to stay on this end of the floor. So the Rhinos have been relied on their defense here this afternoon. Breeden's got to get it in, does so, gets it back, open look at 3, airballed it. McAllister, another offensive rebound, put back too strong. Ravenel, the offensive rebound, and he's fouled. Richard Bland cannot match up down low right now. I got to think for Coach Cabrera, that's right. Richard Agbo is getting the start here in this second half, but so far it has not mattered. Extra chance opportunities helping the Rhinos here today. So Ravenel, 69% free throw shooter, up to 6 points here today. Costin's going to come in, and they're going to take out Fishburne. So again, more length. You substitute a ball handler, but got to try to do something to get on the glass here if you're the Statesman. Ravenel gets them both. He's got 7, matching Love for 2nd on the team. This is the biggest lead for either team now. Richard Bland had a 7-point lead. Now Gaston up by 7 as well. There's Smith. It swung over to Brown. Ramirez is fouled. First foul of the half on Gaston. McAllister picks it up. Doyle Brown to inbound. Smith up top. Brown gets the handoff left of the lane. Ramirez on the wing, attacks, got tied up, and they got a reach. So both teams now with 2 team fouls. I mentioned during the regular season, the second meeting, there were 70 combined free throws, pretty clean first half, but the whistle's starting to add up already here in the first less than 3 minutes into the second half. Smith top of the key, given space, and that's too easy. So Smith, nobody picked up the ball. Smith up to 5, and it's a 5-point game. Richard Bland has been in a zone throughout the game. Miscommunication and a turnover. One-on-one, Ramirez reverses no. Gaston tips it no. And how did Richard Bland come up empty there? Here's Love into the lane. Swinging out to Ravenel. Ball fake. Now it's Brown for Gaston. Rhinos' 22-win season. Went through that long stretch where they could not be beaten, won 17 straight. They turn it over again. It's Smith blowing by everybody. He'll lay it up and in. Good start to the second half for Jalen Smith. Came in averaging 10.6. He's got 7 now. 4 of those here in this second period. So lead down to 3 for the Rhinos. 31-28 Gaston. The 4 seed over the 5 seed here in our first game. The Region 10 tournament. Turnaround by McAllister off the back rim. Costin's got the board. Ten on the shot clock. Agbo on the elbow. Shot clock down to 7. Brown banks it. First bucket in a while for Doyle Brown, but he is still the game's leading scorer with 16. 6-0 run by the Statesmen. They're within 1. We've had 3 lead changes, 2 ties in this game. And what has been a game of runs thus far. McAllister is fouled. 3rd team foul on Richard Bland. And Kyrie McAllister will go to the free throw line when we come back. 15-13 left to go in the game. And it's Gaston 31, Richard Bland 30.
Why choose Catawba Valley Community College? We help people create their future. Stay on track to earn your associate's degree in a place that challenges you and encourages your growth. You can also look forward to what's next with our co-admissions partnerships, which allow students to transfer from Catawba Valley to their next university. Apply today and reach new heights this spring. Visit cvcc.edu to learn more. Your healthcare degree begins at Catawba Valley Community College. Our popular Valley Sim Hospital is the perfect place to develop skills in nursing, respiratory therapy, radiography, surgical technology, and more. Explore health education opportunities at Catawba Valley Community College and apply today. You never know what's next in store. Visit cvcc.edu to learn more.
Welcome back, everybody. It is 31-30 Gaston over Richard Bland. Winner of this game will play the Dolphins. Brunswick Community College getting a first-round bye. 7-team tournament this year. Denmark Tech was ruled ineligible, so they're out, and that really benefits Brunswick, who gets an extra day off and only has to win 2 games to win the tournament. Also makes the regular season mean something, you know? So it's Kyrie McAllister, 70% from the free throw line. Hit his last couple. That was way back in the first half. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you at the Region 10 tournament. I'm at the home studio in Cleveland, Ohio. Wherever you're watching from, we appreciate it. 3 games today, 2 tomorrow, and then the championship at 2 p.m. on Saturday. Spencer Breeden back in the game. So McAllister with his first free throw miss can still put his team up 2 here. Missed it. Cost him with the rebound. Richard Bland on a 6-0 run right now can retake the lead. They've led by as many as 7. Ditto for Gaston. Smith, as Brown was trying to go back door. We have a kickball. Ben Stevens in the game for McAllister for Gaston. Joining Breeden, E.J. Joyner also in the game. Brown, Ravenel was the 5 for the Rhinos. Fishburne is back out there. Here's Ramirez, top of the key. Pull up in the lane, counted in the foul. Andy Ramirez makes it an 8-0 run. Richard Bland back on top. And a chance for Ramirez now to get to 9 points on the day for him at the free throw line. Ramirez has had the yips from the charity stripe so far today. See if things change here in the second half. They do not. He came in as an 80% free throw shooter, and he's 0 for 5 here today. Brown on the far side for Gaston. Richard Bland did retake the lead, though. 4th lead change of the game. We expected this to be tight. The regular season meetings were very close, and thus far it has been as advertised. Another steal for the Statesmen. To the hoop, it's Fishburne with his first bucket. 10-0 run for Richard Bland, and what has been a game of runs. There's Joyner. Brown has not scored today. Came in averaging over 14 a game. Ravenel was 7 in the game. He's got the basketball in the lane. Bounce pass deflected out. Back to him. Got to get it off here. 7 to shoot, and instead it's a rocket out of bounds. So Rhinos going through a funk offensively right now. Gaston came in 3rd in the region in points per game at 83.6, but credit Richard Bland. This is the game that they want to play. Now Gaston's showing a little bit of a zone. We've seen them in mostly man here this afternoon, and they come up with the steal. So misplayed passes. Breeden in the corner. Breeden answers. His first bucket of the game. Tied for the 3rd time here today at 34 apiece. Smith to Ramirez in the corner. It swung now to Brown. Brown going to work. Out to Ramirez. Ramirez this time will shoot it from the corner, come up empty. Brown with the rebound for Gaston. Brown spinning. Swings it out. Ravenel thought about the 3. He'll drive, and he's fouled by Fishburne. 4 team fouls on Richard Bland, 3 on Gaston. Taheem Love back in the game for the Rhinos. Evans is also in. Ryan Evans, what a first half off the bench with 11 points. Pass off the mark, that's going into the backcourt. Sloppy passes here in this second half for both teams, but especially the Rhinos. And a mistake there will give it back to Richard Bland as they try to retake the lead. Brown in the corner, fakes the three, goes hard, rejected by Stevens. Rhinos trying to run. Ball poked away again, another turnover. Fishburne scooped it ahead, Brown lost it, and it was deflected off the Rhinos, so it'll stay with Richard Bland. Fishburne to inbound, just 3 seconds off the shot clock. Ramirez is fouled. Was he fouled in the act of shooting? If it is, it'll be 3 free throws for Andy Ramirez here. As both teams now with 4 team fouls. Joyner talking to the official near midcourt. So Ramirez, let's see if he can settle down now from the free throw line. He's 0-4 thus far. He might have hit a few in the early stages of the game. Gets his first here in the second half. I've got him 0-for-5, but pretty much everything other than player totals take with a grain of salt because I'm doing it all in my head. Ramirez can get into double figures now, and he does, so 10 points for him now. So Brown with 16, Ramirez with 10. 26 of the 36 from those two guys. So Ramirez gets all 3. Looking much better from the charity stripe there. Richard Bland by 3. Into the front court, it's Brown. Stevens. Defenders went for the steal, left him alone, and that's going to be a blocking foul and an and one for Ben Stevens. Not known for his offense, Stevens came in 1.6 a game. But getting some run here, the freshman in this Region 10 tournament game. And Ben Stevens, 43% from the charity stripe this year, doesn't get it to go, but a nice bucket. We are 8 minutes into this second half, 15 foul on Richard Bland. They still lead, though, by 1. Fishburne on the wing. Here's Ramirez. Brown. Everybody touches the basketball for Richard Bland in their offense. Ramirez up against the shot clock. Fishburne got a hoist, missed it back iron. Stevens the rebound. Evans attacks. Evans can't score. Evans follows his miss. Another offensive rebound for Evans, but his reverse came up short. Ramirez, cross-court Fishburne. Again, Richard Bland in a zone. We've seen a mix of defense, for the Rhinos, not Richard Bland, for Gaston. Ball trickles out to Doyle Brown. He's long on the 3, and on the closeout, Stevens fouled him. So another free throw opportunity upcoming for Richard Bland when we come back. 10:57 left to go in the game. Statesmen clinging to a 1-point lead.
Come join a campus that believes in you. We believe everyone can belong, that their passions can be shared, and their voices can be heard. We are open to new possibilities, and we encourage you to explore what's next in store. Come join a campus where the ordinary can become extraordinary. Who knows? College could be more than you ever expected. Be more. Be CBCC.
Did you know North Carolina community colleges are not permitted to use public education funds for athletic programs? Without generous financial support, CVCC athletics would not be possible. Thank you to every sponsor, past and present, whose donations have opened doors for our Red Hawk athletes. CVCC is committed to excellence, and we need your help to continue our athletic legacy. Scan the QR code on your screen to make a gift and become a sponsor today.
Welcome back to Catawba Valley, hosting the Region 10 men's basketball tournament. First game here in the opening round as Richard Bland, the 5 seed, leading Gaston, the 4 seed, 37-36. And Statesmen will try to build on that lead. Doyle Brown at the line, 65% free throw shooter this season. Doyle Brown leading Region 10 in points per game. And he's short on the first of 3. He's also 6th in the region in three-point shooting, Doyle Brown, this year, 39% from behind the arc. He was fouled on the 3 before that timeout. He's up to a game-high 17 points so far today, with one more free throw to go. Make it 18 now for Doyle Brown. Both teams with 5 team fouls. We're inside 11 minutes to go. Richard Bland leading by 3. Both teams have had a 7-point lead in this game. We've had 4 lead changes and 3 ties. Will it be a 4th tie? No, as the triple does not go for Breeden. Smith into the front court with 7 points. Fishburne has 2. Brown, Fishburne playing hot potato with it right now with 8 on the shot clock. Now Brown going to work with 5 to shoot. With 3, got to create something. He'll fire and bank it in. It's a 2. It is a 2-pointer. Foot was on the line, but that gives Doyle Brown 20 in the game. He's got almost half his team's points. We're past the midway points. I think the score is wrong as Gaston commits the turnover. I think it's 41-36. That's right. So 41-36, and as I mentioned for Brown, almost half his team's points. Doyle Brown has been special, especially in March. If you weren't around in the first half, I mentioned this. In his last 4 games, averaging 28.5 points per game. A team that does not have a lot of offensive firepower to it. They really rely on Doyle Brown to be big every night. Smith out to Fishburne. He'll try a 3 and bury it. Fishburne up to 5 points. This is the biggest lead for either team now. It's an 8-point lead. You've had a 15-point swing here in this second half. Gaston has gone through some real scoring droughts in this game. Evans has hit 3 triples. He's short on that one. Fishburne the rebound. Another bucket here by the Statesmen. I think we're going to see a timeout here for the Rhinos and head coach Benny Moss. Fishburne out deep. Winner gets Brunswick in the semifinals tomorrow at 4 p.m. Oh, nice backdoor cut. Nice extra pass. Ramirez short on the triple. Much needed stop for the Rhinos here. They could not afford to give up another one, but they turn it over yet again. How many steals does Richard Bland have in this half? I believe it's 5. Statesmen, again, very deliberate on the offensive end. New head coach Guillermo Cabrera, but Andrew Lacey's teams played like that a lot, too, for the Statesmen in years past. It's Ramirez on the wing. Ramirez draws contact. It's going to be a foul on the floor. That bucket will not count, but it will get Richard Bland 1 foul closer to the bonus. 16 foul on the Rhinos, 5 on Richard Bland. Breeden out, E.J. Joyner is back in for Gaston. Fishburne got to get it in. He does to Ramirez. Quick trigger, and it goes. The Statesmen are on fire right now, and they've opened up an 11-point lead. 18-point swing, timeout, Gaston. The Rhinos have things to discuss if they have been sloppy with the basketball and they've given up a bunch of triples to Richard Bland. We'll step aside as well. Come back with 8 minutes left to go in the game. All right, 8 minutes left to go here in this one. Gaston going on offense. They got to dig deep. They got to take care of the basketball, and they got to find their rhythm on this side of the floor as Richard Bland has picked up their offense. Trying to look and see if there's any changes. It's Brown, Ravenel, Evans, Joyner, and Love in the game for Gaston. In the corner, Joyner. He'll back it out now. Here's Love attacking, scooping, can't score. Evans with yet another offensive rebound for the Rhinos. It's been the one positive today offensively for Gaston. Their second chance opportunities. And that is the 16th foul now on Richard Bland. Both teams inching towards the bonus as we go to another timeout. 7:38 left to go here at the Region 10 men's basketball opening round. We'll be back. Welcome back, everybody. That's me, Chris Shima. Glad to be back with you. Not to shamelessly self-promote too much, but if you are a basketball player in Region 10, doesn't matter if you're in the tournament or not, but if you participate in Region 10 basketball and you want a professional highlight video done, I'm doing $50 off just for Region 10 players, though. Inbound goes to Joyner on the wing, like a good highlight video, not those grainy things you make on your phone. I can do that for you, so you can give me a shout. Shot clock is down to 9. Gaston finds themselves down by 11 here, and it's going to be a foul on Fishburne. Almost a turnover there by Jordan Brown, but instead it's the 7th team foul for Richard Bland, and that's one of the things, if you're the Statesmen, you really don't want to do right now. Give a team that has just had nothing offensively opportunities at the charity stripe. Jordan Brown has not scored in this game thus far. The front end of the 1-and-1 is short. Rebound by Ramirez. So Brown is still 0-4. And this long run for Richard Bland continues. They trailed by 7 early on in this second half. They were down by 5 at the half. It was 31-24. So it's a 23-7 extended run here in this second half. Putting the moves on Ravenel, swings it out to Love. Love, pull up in the lane, flip shot, no. Offensive rebound, Joyner, and he's fouled. 18 fouls now. One of the positives from the regular season for Gaston. They have been great all year at getting to the free throw line. 7th in the NJCAA in attempts at 26.3 and 4th in makes with 19.3. They got to start knocking them down, though. Now it's E.J. Joyner, 71% at the line this year. He's up to 3 points as he gets the front end. Joyner averaging 11 a game off the bench. Has 4 here today. So Gaston within single digits. Can they force some turnovers here? No trouble with that trap for Richard Bland. 6:30 to go. Statesmen 47, Rhinos 38. Very low scoring opening round game. Brown gets it top of the key, Costin over to Ramirez, down to the cutter Brown. Beautiful offense by Richard Bland. And for Doyle Brown, he's got 22 in the game. What a season it's been for him, but especially down the stretch. He has been red hot. Brown, Evans, given space. I'm surprised he didn't shoot that. It's a turnover instead. Gaston just indecisive. Slam dunk Costin. And Richard Bland takes its biggest lead out to 13. 5:40 to go in the game. Brown out to Joyner. Boy, this Statesman defense has been really impressive today. And the Rhinos are just completely out of sorts. You see the body language. And Benny Moss got to settle his team down. We're going to take a quick break here. 5:32 left to go. We'll be right back.
Come join a campus that believes in you. We believe everyone can belong, that their passions can be shared, and their voices can be heard. We are open to new possibilities, and we encourage you to explore what's next in store. Come join a campus where the ordinary can become extraordinary. Who knows? College could be more than you ever expected. Be more. Be CVCC.
Welcome back to Catawba Valley, hosting the Region 10 men's basketball tournament. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you as Richard Bland leads 51-38. And with just 5:32 left to go, it's do or die now for Gaston. They have got to figure it out. If you're Richard Bland, and to keep that defensive pressure up. They have forced a number of turnovers, especially here in the second half. Don't forget, our next game will be 20 minutes after this one is complete. And it's the defending champs, the 2-seed USC Salkehatchie, taking on Cape Fear. Again, 20 minutes after this one is done. Joyner attacks, Love driving and drawing contact. 9 team fouls on the Statesmen now. So this will be the last. Well, this is a 2-shot foul in the act of shooting, but so no more 1-and-1s for Gaston. Taheem Love, second team All-Region this season, 13 points a game, 85% free throw shooter. Up to 8 points here today. make it 9 for Love. Lead is 11 now. Some man pressure here for Gaston, as Fishburne had to work to get open there. Double teamed, throws it ahead front court to Ramirez. And Ramirez will attack. And they call a late foul on Evans. Team foul number 7 on the Rhinos. That'll be a 2-shot foul. Andy Ramirez hit all 3 last trip to the free throw line. Ramirez now with 15 points in the game. Ramirez came in averaging 16.7 on the year. And that is going to be an air ball. So Richard Bland by a dozen. Gaston still has time in this game. But as I mentioned, they've got to really go on their run right now. Brown into the forecourt. Brown still scoreless. Jordan Brown came in 9th in the region in points per game, 8th in assists per game, and the Statesman defense has not allowed him to do much of either here today. Brown on the wing now, directing traffic. Here's Love up top. Evans on the wing, goes behind his back. It's poked away, Costin. Another steal for the Statesmen. Clock's your friend right now for Richard Bland. They play like this normally, but it really benefits them down the stretch here. Ramirez on the block now. Ravenel guarding him. 3 to shoot. They got to get it off. Fishburne trying to create. It just touched the rim. Ravenel got the rebound. Joyner pushing. Down to Love. Love draws contact again. So Gaston getting stops, getting out on the run, trying to get to the free throw line. A little more in line with what they've done all season long. Tahim Love, opportunity to become the second player for Gaston in double figures in the game. And he does with that first free throw. So Love now with 10. Evans goes out, and coming in for him, Landon Sprouse. We have not seen Landon yet in this game. Agbo is back in for Richard Bland, replacing Costin. Free throw goes in and out, so Statesmen still lead by 11. Here's Ramirez on the wing. Richard Bland has not really had any trouble with the trap here today. Out deep, it's Fishburne. Shot clock is down to 7. Smith with 5 to shoot. Drives, throws it up. No. Rebound by Sprouse. Again looking to push. This time Brown. Swings it out to Sprouse. Attacks. Ravenel on the right of the lane. Love attacks. Love gets the friendly roll. A dozen for Love. And it's single digits. 9-point game. Ball got stuck in the net. Those are some clean nets. So 3:17 left to go. It'll be Richard Bland basketball. We're going to have our timeout. Now they're going to allow a sub to come in. So Agbo out, Costin is in. And again, Gaston in this man pressure here. Fishburne throws it front court to Smith. And again, just no trouble so far against the pressure here for Richard Bland. They could use a bucket, though. Gaston's starting to string some points together, trying to get themselves back in it. This would be a momentum buster here. That's going to be ooh, is that a blocking foul? I thought Smith with the elbow might have gotten called for the offensive, but they call the block instead, and that'll make it a 1-and-1 for Jalen Smith with 2:56 to go in the game. And we're going to go to a timeout before these potential free throws. Richard Bland leading by 9. Down the stretch we go here in game number 1.
Where does education take you? Catawba Valley Community College offers premier community development and public services education. Train on industry standard equipment or take part in live scenarios with EMS and fire safety training. Our aspiring teachers can start their teaching degree with early childhood education programs. If you're a creative, come explore our Cosmetology Center, where your aesthetic talents will go far. Apply now. Visit cvcc.edu to learn more. Change the game with your technical degree. At Catawba Valley Community College, you can go beyond the textbook and learn in the innovative Workforce Solutions Complex. We have spaces for welding labs, automotive systems, computer-integrated machining, advertising and graphic design. There's no limit to what's possible at Red Hawk Nation. It's time to earn your technical degree. Apply today. Visit cvcc.edu to learn more.
Welcome back to Catawba Valley. Chris Shima, glad to be with you from the home studio in Ohio. Region 10 men's basketball tournament. We're coming down the stretch here in our first of 3 games in the opening round as Richard Bland with a 9-point lead, and they'll send Jalen Smith to the free throw line. Smith has 7 points here today, and on the year, a 65% free throw shooter. I mentioned it at the beginning of the game for Smith, leading the region in rebounds per game at 9.5 and assists per game at 6.1. So that window is starting to creep open here for Gaston, as going right to the hoop, it's Love, who has helped spearhead this mini run for the Rhinos. They're within 7 now. 6-0 run for Gaston. Smith in the front court, had it poked away, but that's going to be a reach on Joyner. This will be the last 1-and-1 here for Richard Bland now. 9th team foul. So Smith is back at the line. And Smith in and out. Free throw's not going down for Richard Bland. So again, the window opens a little bit wider here for the Rhinos. Can they capitalize? Love's been the hot hand. His 3 is long. Offensive rebound, Sprouse gets rid of it to Joyner. Joyner got the body. So Joyner's going to the free throw line. Chance to extend this 6-0 run. Extra chance opportunities, if somehow Gaston can rally here, will be their biggest takeaway from today. Crashing that offensive glass. They bring in Agbo. Richard Bland takes out Costin. So at the line, it's E.J. Joyner, 71% this season. He's got 4 points here today. Make it 5. 7 straight points for Gaston. So Gaston now with 8 straight points, and it's a 2-possession game. Into the front court, this is Brown. Fans wanted a backcourt call there, but Smith got in front of the timeline in time, and now Fishburne is fouled. So is Gaston already playing the foul game? I guess they're figuring that Richard Bland is just shooting so poorly from the free throw line outside of Ramirez here in the second half that's the way to go. But this is We still got 2:08 left to go. So Fishburne, well, Fishburne is a 47% free throw shooter, so I get the strategy. Fishburne hit a big three here in the second half as part of that big run that put Richard Bland up 13. Both teams in the double bonus now, and Fishburne makes at least that first one when it counts. So that ends an 8-0 run for Gaston. Snaps a long scoring drought for Richard Bland. Fishburne 1 out of 2 though, so that's a win here for Gaston, especially if they can score. Going right to the hoop, Love comes up empty. Rebound Agbo. Agbo trying to get rid of it, and he's fouled. Agbo's been a good free throw shooter this season, albeit limited opportunities at the charity stripe. I still wouldn't foul this early. Especially, it's still a 2-possession game. Your offense has not been consistent enough to make any kind of a comeback if you go down 8, 9, 10 points again. Agbo gets the friendly rim there. So he'll have an opportunity now. Well, it's a 3-possession game now to extend it back to 8. Misses that one. So again, 1 out of 2. So the strategy continues to work for Gaston, but they got to get buckets. Brown over to Joyner. His 3, in and out. Offensive rebound. Sprouse, another hustle play since coming in. Love cut off in the lane. Here's Brown. No good. Brown is still scoreless. Ramirez is fouled. Joyner was looking to get the tie up. That was not an intentional foul. He was trying to force the jump ball. And instead, more free throws for Richard Bland here. Ramirez struggled in the first half from the charity stripe, but he has been money here in the second half. 15 points in the game. And his first one is good. It's still a 3-possession game no matter what here. Agbo goes out of the game, and they bring in, are you still with us? Christian Chambers is in the game. So Guillermo Cabrera countering with some better free throw shooters. Chambers 93% on the year. He has not played at all today. So Gaston now, it's still 3 possessions, but now they're down by 9. They have got to score here. Sprouse attacks. Hung it short, follows his miss, leaves it Ravenel. Ravenel doubled up. Got it to go anyways. So Ravenel now with 9 points. The lead is 7. 3-possession game, minute 18 left to go. And we're getting another timeout. We'll go away. Welcome back, everybody. Once again, the full court press is on for Gaston. 3-possession game, minute 20 to go. As they try to get it in, they do to Chambers, and Chambers is fouled immediately. So Christian Chambers coming in ice cold off the bench, but one of the better free throw shooters on the team. In fact, the best free throw shooter on the team. Chambers 93% this season. Both teams in the double bonus. So Chambers on the board. Good sub here by Guillermo Cabrera to bring in some free throw shooting. Gaston started fouling at the 2-minute mark. And Chambers rims in the second one. So this is a 9-point game again. Rhinos eventually, once you get inside a minute, I think you got to start thinking about triples. They can keep driving, though, looking for easy hoops if they want to for now. They'll try a triple. It's Sprouse in the corner off the back rim. Rebound to Ramirez. Ramirez trying to get out of trouble. Throws it ahead to Brown. And Brown running away. Ravenel will foul, but Doyle Brown going to the line with a game-high 22 points here today. And an opportunity to make it a 4-possession game and mostly ice this. Missed that first one, though. Just 1 out of 2 here would make it 4-possession, though. So as long as he gets this one, Richard Bland is really in the driver's seat the rest of the way. Come on, huddle camera. Move over. He does. So Brown a game-high 23. 10-point game. Love lost the handle on it. They're going to foul again, but this one is getting away from Gaston. Some more free throws here for Richard Bland. Statesmen came in just 9 and 15 overall this year, but I mentioned they had that rough patch at the beginning of the year at 2 and 8. They came in having won 3 of 4. Their offense is up big time in March. And their defense today was simply outstanding. I mean, the amount of turnovers that they forced here today. Really impressive effort by the Statesmen. Rhinos into the forecourt. 3 by Love, no good. Another rebound, and are they still going to foul? Come on, guys. So another foul will send Smith to the line. Chance to put a little extra frosting on the cake in what will be a Statesman victory here today. Gaston, their season is going to come to a close. A 22-win year under first-year coach Benny Moss, but this one going to leave a bad taste as the offense just was not there. One of the leading scorers in the region, Jordan Brown, was held scoreless today. I go on this rant all the time, and I don't know if anybody from Huddle is ever watching these games, but for the love of God, will you train these cameras to just follow the basketball? So Smith pads his stats. He's up to 9 points. This is the biggest lead of the game. A 3 by Joyner is off. Saved by Sprouse. It comes to Ramirez, and they're still fouling. Guys, we've got 2 other games here today. I understand not wanting to, but like it's over. So Ramirez now a chance to join Brown in the 20-point club here today. Ramirez has 19 right now. Those of you who are looking for our later games, by the way, on YouTube, I will update the start times on the YouTube video itself. So we're looking at probably, well, it depends on how things go, but maybe 4:15, 4:20 for our next game. So Ramirez now with 21. Brown with 23. What a performance today for Richard Bland. At least thus far, holding Gaston under 50 points. A team that came in averaging over 80 on the year. That does not happen by accident. Yeah, Gaston had a tough shooting game today, but this Richard Bland team was really locked in on this end of the court, and it showed. So Richard Bland going to move on as Stevens goes to the hoop. 11 seconds left to go, and hopefully Gaston will wave the flag here and let Ramirez dribble it out, which they will. So Ramirez gets rid of it. Brown will hold it. A game-high 23 for Brown. Richard Bland is on to the semifinals. It's the 5 seed winning today over number 4 Gaston, 65-51. So Richard Bland will take on the top seed Brunswick Dolphins tomorrow in our first semifinal. Again, that'll be played at 4 p.m. tomorrow at Catawba Valley. We got to go, folks. We got our next game coming up 20 minutes from now. It's going to be USC Salkehatchie, the defending champs, take the court, and they will take on the Cape Fear Sea Devils. And again, we'll have that for you 20 minutes from now, so come on back.